The VC show, let's go, doing the part with Roz. We got the sports on deck for our audience. Whether it's big news, hot topics, updates, straight facts, storytelling, breakdowns, or special guests. VC show, let's go, it's time to turn it out. The VC show, let's go, let's go. The VC show.
Master P, what's up, Master P? Went on the All the Smoke show, and he told a story about playing in Toronto with you and T-Mac. So, like, how was that? And what was his game like? Could he ball?
It was interesting. So we're a young team in Toronto, and we are trying to establish ourselves and do our thing, make a name for ourselves as an organization, obviously, and as individuals. And we bring Master P in. So, like everyone else, like your question, we asked the same thing. Can this guy play? His music, he's one of the, and this is the time where he's major. So it was a lot of talk around this, and P comes in, and I saw where he was talking about like the rookie hazing, and he wasn't doing all that, which is I get it. I mean, he was already a superstar established, but my thing, I think the majority of us from where I took it, he had already tried out with the Charlotte Hornets. So he'd already gone through a year of the rookie hazing. He didn't make the team, but he had already gone through that. So we didn't really look at it as a rookie. It was just like, here's this guy, Master P, who made him say, coming in trying to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it was interesting. P can play basketball, but like,
was he NBA player?
I mean, he didn't make the team, so I mean, it's easy to say no, he wasn't, but he could play. But was he NBA basketball? It just at the time, it's like who was he going to beat out was the question. At the time, we had a lot of young talent, but the buzz around. Let me tell you something. The buzz around having P was crazy in itself. When people, I don't think he played the first preseason game, but we were going to Dallas, and we were going to play, as close to Louisiana, we were going to play a preseason game in Dallas. And I think it was at Reunion, the old Reunion. I'm showing my age, Reunion, not even where they are now. And the people that came out for that game was insane. Insane to see P get on the court. And I mean, it was who's who of rap artists. You thought you were seeing a rap concert, but it was just the support that he was getting from both sides. Curiosity and support all in one. And, P got out there at first, and you're just like, I don't know. But, here's a man who's accomplished so much, been doubted, and, he survived. He didn't tank. But Master P made his mark when we played the Vancouver Grizzlies. And I wish I knew the player's name. He probably doesn't want to be named, and I understand why. But when you're talking about a guy going into another sport and he gets the best of you, and this is not what he does on a daily basis. Obviously, he was trying to make that another profession, his new profession, if you would. Like Michael Jordan going to baseball, they didn't want Michael Jordan hitting home runs off of them. That's just, come on. You play basketball, you coming into baseball. So P finally gets in the game. People are going crazy. We're, preseason. P is picking up somebody full court. He's trying to cross P over. Master P steals the ball from this guy. Gosh, I wish I remember his name. Steals the ball from him at half court. Okay? There's nobody between Master P and the guy he stole the ball from. P goes, stops to the three-point line, and pulls up for three. Nobody on it, and makes it. We're going crazy. I hope there's video of that. It's so long ago, we're older, so, there might not be good video for it, but I heard the guy got cut that night, right after the game. And like I say, yeah, it's just, and P worked hard. He bought into it. It wasn't I'm Master P, recording superstar. He bought into it, but we made sure, he said about dunking on him, whatever that, I don't know about trying to dunk on him. I wasn't afraid to dunk on anybody. I was going to get fouled, by anybody. I was getting fouled by some of the biggest men, Shaq on down. So that wasn't the thing. But we were going hard at him because guess what? Guess what the reality was? Everybody who we played against, when P stepped on the court, they were going to do the same to him. So, and he was playing the point guard position. So I think it was just different for him. Like everybody, you know, just think like if you're going out there to try to play right now, Roz, in the WNBA, guess you're going to be a target. Everybody's going to come after you because you're stepping in and you have played the game. I'm saying, but that's what it was for P. So, and it was like that for us. So, you know, and he didn't back down. He wasn't afraid. He talked his junk and all that, man. Like that's P. Like if y'all know P talk his junk now, and that's what it was. But it was a fun time. Like he could play a little bit. I'm not sitting here and saying like he should have been in and as we all get cut, we all feel like we should have made it fine. But he competed, man. He competed.
No, it sounds like there's a lot of respect there for somebody, you know, at the peak of their craft in one game, and then come to another game and try to give that and try to see what he could shake it up and make it happen with the NBA side. All right, but he wouldn't be
Ross, real fast. I'll say this. At one point, we thought that he was going to make the team. Like he was the last cut. Like I saw an article. He was the last cut before they cut him. So it's like, you know, it was kind of, I guess, shout out to Antonio Lang. It was between, I think, Master P and Antonio Lang were the kind of two guys at that time. And like he just missed making our team that year. So, like, you know, for however you feel about him, he was a decent player.
He was, I mean, if you have an opportunity to even try out for the league, like you're a good player, you know, like overall. All right, but he wouldn't be the only musician that has had hoop dreams. We've seen it with, you know, Drake warming up with Kentucky, or Quavo, you know, was a regular at the celebrity basketball tournament games and all this and that. So like, which music artist in your knowledge of this is the best hooper in your opinion?
Well, the ones that I've seen live, Bryant McKnight had game. Everybody laughs when I say that, but Bryant McKnight had game. He was a shooter. I've seen 2 Chainz play. Bow Wow back in the day used to be in my basketball camp, so I got to see him every day play. Bow Wow had game. Romeo, P's son, had some game. Silk the Shocker, his brother, had game. Like he could play. Like he never had the chance. Obviously, P had the chance, but we felt like Silk was just as capable. And lastly, I think a lot of people know about this guy, Chris Brown. Chris Brown has game. Yeah, you know. So those are some of the guys that I've seen live. Seen play live that I'm like, all right, he got some game. Like, you know, if he tried and put some time into it, possibly, you know, like I said, I felt Silk possibly had a chance. Chris Brown, you know, was pretty darn good. And then there's also this guy by the name of Prince.
Yeah, what about Prince?
People don't know that. You know, like if you remember Dave Chappelle skit about playing Prince, like that's a real thing. Prince had game. Prince was one of Minnesota's all-time leading scorers back in his high school days. So he could play. And I've had some conversations with Prince. It's funny. It's not a flex. It's just the truth.
I was like, yeah, that's cool.
I had a nightclub in Toronto. Shout out to Inside. Shout out to Travis.
Wait. There's so much happening here. So wait. So
shoot.
Prince,
what
you're having
I do?
trouble with Prince. And you have a nightclub in Toronto, so you are a nightclub owner as
Inside.
well. Tell me about
Inside Nightclub. Shout out to Inside. Shout out to Toronto. Inside Nightclub. My business partner Travis Agresti. We went into business as a player. I was still a player, and had some pretty interesting nights and some cool people come through the club. You know, Ross, we were one of the first. Absolutely. Okay. Yes, it was definitely the place to be. I mean, we started bottle service, our club inside in Toronto. We were one of the first to start this way back then, which is a regular here in the States, which, you know, it's like that's unheard of. It was like, I remember, like, why you couldn't order a bottle and have it at your table. You can buy a bottle and they pour the drinks for you, but we changed the game a little bit. So I was proud of that. Had it for a long time, but one day we're sitting in the office and one of our security guys at the front door is like, Prince wants to come into the club. So Prince. Like, how many Princes do you know outside of Prince Felder and Prince? So I'm like, you mean like the logo? You know, he was at this time, he was the logo. He was around that time. And it was like, yeah, Prince. So it was the weirdest thing. And, you know, if you think about Michael Jackson and Prince, these are two of the people that I know that wherever they go around the world, I mean, you see internationally, look on video, and people would pass out to see these people. Like they are like, you know, echelon of iconic superstars and geniuses and just kind of whatever. So you come up and, you know, when it just got weird for me because it's like, all right, he said, yeah, he wants one of the VIP areas, but he, you know, he wants the light dim down. So I was like, oh, okay, all right. But it makes sense, I guess. You know, if it's bright, everybody sees you, people go crazy, you can't enjoy yourself. So it kind of made sense. And, you know, Prince came in like he was in his bell bottoms and his, you know, like Prince, like he was Prince, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was dressed like Prince, if you know what I'm saying. Slick back and all cool. So, you know, so we're sitting there talking in there, and it's like, you know, you think of Prince and, you know, you think of the pitch where he sings alto, soprano. He's up there, you know, he has a high pitch and he talks at like a deep baritone, like, you know, like deep voice. It's like, man, it's crazy. And the cool thing about it is like, I had to ask him like, okay, so you're you, and why are you here? What makes you want to come to Inside Nightclub in Toronto? Because he was dating, a lady there who was, I don't know where he found her. Like, unbelievable. That's all I'm saying. She was unbelievable. That's just a fact. She was unbelievable. Like, man, but he's Prince, so it made sense. But I'm like, what makes you come here? He's like, he said that he heard about our club and he had to see it for himself. And Travis and I were just like, that's what's up. Because we didn't do any promoting. And we didn't promote on the radio. We didn't promote, like, do ads on the TV. It was all word of mouth. Mm-hmm. And we had pro teams that would come in and, you know, to do things. So he heard about it. So he had to come in. So Prince is now sitting in our VIP and, you know, and I'm like, this is Prince. So a matter of time, people are going to lose their freaking mind because we didn't say, oh, Prince is in the building. We didn't do any of that. He asked not to. Cool. It's just, you know, a lot of security, dark sitting in there. So we're talking and like, he was like, I had to come see it. So I'm like, okay, cool. Lo and behold, this one girl finds out. And she's trying. So we have where I'm sitting. I'm sitting here, Princess to my right, and it's bamboo protecting the VIP. It's a raised VIP. The dance floor is back there, so you can technically see through the bamboo sticks. She is trying her best to rip the bamboo sticks apart, but you can't just break bamboo. Like that's why we had it there. She is trying to rip it apart. I'm over here like, what is going on, Roz? Like, bro, you and Prince is just sitting there like, yeah, man, this is a great place you have here. This is awesome. Like he did not flinch. He did not flinch. And I'm just like, she's freaking out. So like that video of seeing people passing out for Michael Jackson and Prince, like I'm seeing it live. So our security finally, after like 5-10 minutes of her trying to rip it up, they pick her up and they're escorting her out and she passes out. Prince, I love you. I was like, you're the greatest. I love you. Oh my God. And boom. Passes out. So they're carrying her up over the head, and she's basically like a dead body.
Oh my God.
Just like she's out, passed out. I was just like, whoa. And he never flinched. Never flinched. I was just like, wow. And
he's seen before.
It was a norm for him. Like, you know, a lot. So it was just unbelievable to see a guy like this.
You were liability bullets. You were over there like, oh Lord, please.
Yeah, like, oh Lord, like what's going on? He like Travis is like he's sitting there with his mouth dropped, and I'm like, yo, bro, do you see this? Like, and it was just a cool thing. He invited us to a concert because I had never been to a Prince concert. I listened to him, but like die hard, I wouldn't go that far. Mm-hmm. But I understood why when I was at his concert. Like it was hit after hit after hit. Mm-hmm. So it's like seeing him in the intimate setting in the VIP, not flinching, to going up here in the middle of an arena, rocking it 3 nights in a row, blah, 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 blah. And then he comes back a second time. It was cool because we got to conversating about what we wanted to do is create a small venue. So 5,000 seat arena for intimate concerts and you have your concert, and then we're going to shuttle bus people back to the club and just do it real big for artists and fan experience. And, you know, ended up getting traded and moving on. But Prince said, whatever you need me to do, I will do it. You need artists, if I call artists, they'll do it. We're like, okay, bet. Like that's easy. We don't have to call artists. We just got to call Prince. It's like, hey, can you get whatever? Like Alicia Keys, I remember. I don't know why Alicia Keys was one of the guys that I could artists that I remember. He's like, yeah, man, I call these guys. They'll do me a favor, and I'll create. And he wanted nothing from it, just to see it boom because he appreciated, the club, that he had a good time, just being a friend. It was just insane, crazy. Long story short, we move forward. Prince dies, and it was just like crazy. And my second year in Atlanta, we're in Minnesota, and we're there a couple of days. We go to visit his house, the museum. His house is the museum. For those who don't know that, you get a chance, you're in Minnesota, please go visit his house. It's unbelievable. So when he first passed, obviously it was breaking news, and they talk about he had this vault. In this vault, he had albums on top of albums on top of albums that he'd recorded that he never dropped, on top of all of this stuff that he wore, like, oh, I'm just going to put it out here, keepsake. So they're itemizing all of these items that's in his vault, and the first 100 items come out publicly. And somewhere in there, my buddy Travis sends this to me. He's like, hey, did you see this? I was like, okay, yeah, his list, cool. And he had it circled and said, Vince Carter single. It's like, what? So Prince had made a song. I don't think I see the name, but it's like it had Vince Carter single. So that was one of the first 100 items that they saw, and
Wow.
and it had a single. So I'm like, bro, what? And so we go take the visit to his house and everything, and I do one of those, hey, how you doing? My name's Vince Carter. I know Prince has a vault, and I was told that he had a sing. I didn't know how do you ask these people? It's like, I know they're like, oh yeah, cool, cool story, bro. But I'm like, Prince made a single about me. I just wanted to see, who can I contact? I just want to hear it. Like, I wasn't asking for it. I was just curious, like, what he had to say. I was like, you can play it over the phone. You don't have to give me the actual single. I just wanted to hear it. And I never got the opportunity because I thought they were like, I felt like they were like, yeah, okay, let me go contact somebody. And I never heard from it. So maybe, one of these days I'll go ask it. So I never heard it, but it was just like cool. Like, in all of a sudden pictures, Prince, when he performed, he had my jersey on. He had my home and my purple jersey on. He wore a couple of times, which was kind of dope, but I had no clue. So yeah, that's my Prince story. That was cool.
Wow, that is an incredible.
Yeah. So rest in peace to the legend, man.
Rest in peace. That's one for the kids. That's one for the grandkids. Very cool.
Especially if I can hear the single.
Yeah. Let's uncover that, man. Let's see who can help us with that.